This video is going to describe how to set up sortable charts using either a quote sheet or a hot list. Then you sort the quote sheet and hot list to see the strongest currencies, which you can put on one monitor, and the weakest currencies, which you can see on another monitor. And that way you're always focusing on buying the strongest pairs and selling the weakest ones. One of the first things you might want to do is click Load on our software and go to Chart Examples and click on FX Total View Hot List. This has the 12 main pairs that most of us trade already set up in it. Once this loads, you can see all the major currencies on there, and you can sort it by any field. You want to see the daily trend. You can be watching on your intraday charts during the day which currencies have the strongest daily trend, especially when the weekly trend and monthly trend all line up. You have a very high odds, if you see real-time strength today, of that currency going up. Over on the right-hand side on the top, let me move this down, is a little black circle. You want to make this circle the same color as on the charts that you want to link up to this. And so that way, once you sort it, it will put the dollar Swiss in the chart number 1, the Australian dollar in the chart number 2, New Zealand dollar in the chart number 3, and so forth. I'm going to set up a regular quote sheet with just 4 symbols to also show you how to do this and keep it simple. That way everything can be seen on the screen. We'll just do the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, and let's say Australian dollar. And we'll right click on this and put in a decent column or two to sort this by. For instance, the power index shows the percentage of currencies trending up or down on the hourly chart. This is a decent one to use. I'm going to hide that for a second. Then you're going to click Chart, and instead of putting in a symbol here, you're going to create a blank chart with nothing on it at all. You're going to make this whatever color you want the quote sheet or hot list to be. Let's just use blue, for instance. Then you want to right click on the chart and say Hot List Rank Option 1. This will put the first symbol in the chart in this position. Then you want to right click again, go down to Set Chart Group Option, and let's just say Select A. The easiest thing to do now is just to right click and duplicate this window. Put it over here. We want to make this Set Hot List Rank Option 2, so it puts the second symbol in here. Move this down. We'll make this Set Hot List Option 3. Always check to make sure that the chart group option is on A, which it should be. Alright. And now we're going to make sure that this one is set to number 4 and also set chart group option to A. So notice these are all blue. They all are set to position 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're all use set chart group A. Now, we're going to have this on layer 1. So as you hide them, they disappear. As you push it back in, they remain visible. You might want to start with a range bar chart, for instance. Go to Chart Examples, Range Chart, and you want to uncheck Clear Current Workspace before loading new workspace. Let's put these on layer 20. These are going to be the charts that get overridden on top of the blank placeholder charts. The reason that we had to do such a thing is because when you have charts that are linked to a quote sheet, every time the sort order changes, it's going to go out and order new data. And when you have a tick chart or a range chart or any of our charts that have live only data on it, it's going to get rid of some of those values, and also constantly reloading data is a waste of time. Here's layer 20 with the euro dollar chart. I'm going to make this smaller here. And I'm going to select the blue color on the top, and I'm also going to right click on there and say Set Chart Group Option to A. Now I'm going to hide the first layer just for the time being. And then I'm going to right click on this chart, duplicate window. I'm going to label it pound dollar, Notice it says blank symbol there because it can't be two charts with the same symbol on it that are both, set to chart group option A. Once I type in a different symbol like pound dollar, it can thus have the A. There can only be one symbol name for each letter, and that's the chart that's going to get moved and resized. So I'm going to duplicate this window again. Let me just bring up that other layer so I can remember the symbols that I have used. Euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, and the last one's Australian dollar. So I'm going to right click and duplicate this again as the other one's coming up with the data. Australian dollar. Alright. I'm going to hide the layer 1 now again, for instance. And what you'll notice, let's just right click on each of these to make sure that they have set chart group option to A. That one's correct. This one's correct. This one's correct. And this one's correct. Now, one thing that you'll notice is it doesn't matter what size these charts are. You can make them any size you want. Once we start to do this, they're going to get moved to whatever the layer is that has the blank placeholder charts on it. And these are going to go directly over top of those placeholder charts, no matter what size we make them. So on this layer 20 where I have these charts, you can make them any size you want. It doesn't make any difference. Now, as soon as I hide layer 20, they're going to snap to that other layer, which we have right now is invisible. As soon as I make that layer 1 visible again, you're going to see these charts over top of the placeholder charts. Actually, one last step. These placeholder charts have the blue on it, but I have not yet made the quote sheet blue. So once I do this, you will see, just like I have created, the euro dollar gets put in the placeholder number 1, the pound dollar in the number 2, the dollar Swiss in the number 3, and the Australian dollar in the number 4. If I want to sort this right now from strongest to weakest, you see the dollar Swiss is the strongest, then we have the pound dollar, Australian dollar, and euro dollar. And this is how you do it. So to recap, set blank charts, and I'm going to, as soon as I push in layer 20, they're going to snap back to layer 20 in their original size. You see that? As soon as I hide layer 20, they have to be hidden in order for them to get moved onto the layer with the placeholder charts. And as you saw earlier, you have to have a quote sheet or a hot list set up with the same color. As soon as I hide layer 20, they're going to snap back. As I sort these in any order, it's going to put it in this correct order. Now you can, if you want this quote sheet to do auto sorting, you can do that. Let's move this over so everyone can see it. Right click on here, auto sort. You want it updated every 10 seconds. I think 30 seconds, minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes is fine. Usually the strongest one might move down to the second strongest and so forth. You don't want to move it around too much, especially if you're in a trade. So I've been experimenting myself with 2 minutes to 5 minutes. Once you're done with setting up how you want this, click the Save button, and make sure you don't save it in the Chart Examples directory. Go back to the Top Gun and put in a name for it on the bottom and click Save. And that way you can bring it up the next time and load that workspace, and it's going to set this up for you automatically so you don't have to waste time setting it up each time. So again, to recap, as I move this chart away, you'll notice that there's a blank symbol behind it that has the color blue, same as the quote sheet, and it's set to hot list rank option 4, which is a 4th symbol, and it's set to chart group option A, which all of the which all the original charts are as well. Notice the placeholder charts are underneath there. If I were to make a placeholder chart bigger, for instance, when I hide layer, or actually when I resort this, they're going to snap back in the right position. See that? It made that currency, the currency chart that filled that in, became the full size. It snaps automatically and moves this chart, which is on layer 20. As soon as it's hidden, it gets put over top of, the charts. And that's how this works.